it's Spence, the evil genius, from Witch of the Laboratory with your lab secrets tip of the day. Okay, we're continuing our tutorial series now in the admin dashboard. Under the settings menu, we've got the media option. The media settings area is where you'll set up the basic dimensions of all the images that you want to upload into your media library, as well as the maximum embed size for any of the auto embeds. I'm going to explain what this means in a second, but basically what happens is you're allowed to build an entire media library, which is a very powerful feature of the Lab Secret solution, because you can either do it while you're making posts, or you can go in advance and go ahead and do this all at once. There's two types of uploaders. There's the browser uploader and the Flash uploader. The browser uploader is for people who may not be running Flash, and it's pretty straightforward stuff. It really is used for one at a time type of uploading. But if you want to be maximum efficient, I would use the Flash uploader, and this is where you can select a group of images and upload them all at once. And it's pretty cool because I'll just give you a sample. It gives you sort of a what's going on as they're uploading. Very, very fast. Okay, now one of the things about the media library and the media uploader is that each of the particular images, once they're uploaded, allows you to put in as much details as you need to. And this will be relevant to the media settings page, which I'll get to in 1 second. But real briefly, you can go ahead and give a new title if you want. In this particular case, that's something that's not going to be seen, but it'll show up into the meta details information in the HTML of the site. So we want to make sure that if we put in some information here, it's going to be readable nicely by Google, so that if it shows up in the search results, it's what we wanted. So we'll call this, let's call this something like magnifying glass, and search the site, let's say. Now, alternative text is really important for Google because that's pretty much what will show up in all the search engine results as well as in your HTML. So if you do nothing else, make sure that your alternative text is something that represents this image and what it means to the place on your site where you're placing it. Now, caption is something that basically you don't need, but if you have a square-shaped image, for example, if you wanted a border, like a frame around it, like a Polaroid image, and you wanted to have some text at the bottom, the caption will allow you to do that. If you don't put any text in here at all, or any caption, it'll just make it a regular photograph or a regular image box. So we're going to leave that blank. Description is pretty much what it means. You can put in some additional information that will show up in the HTML, and it can be utilized down the road. For example, if you're building a gallery, you might want to put in some information about the photo. This is a beautiful shot of Mount Rainier that we visited on vacation, etc. For most of the images you're going to use to detail out your pages, this isn't necessary in a blog post and whatnot, but that's where you'd put the information. Link URL is really important. You basically have the URL where the file is located. That's what you can use whenever you want to share this. However, one of the choices you have here is you can either have that link point to nowhere, or you can go ahead and put in the location of the file, which is what we have here, or you can put in the post URL. So for example, if you wanted to go ahead when somebody clicked on the image and have it do nothing, select none. If you wanted to click on that and go to the larger original image, click on File URL. If you wanted it where people clicked on it and they go to the post, meaning the blog post or the page, select this choice. So basically that directs somebody who clicks on the image to one of those three choices. Now, alignment, this is for float. This basically allows you to choose whether or not text will do nothing around the image, float around the image when the image is on the left, float around both sides of the image, which it's hard to imagine using that unless you're putting it right in the middle of a page. And this is where the text will float around the image that's on the right side. For most blog posts, we select none. That basically means that it'll just line up and become part of the regular paragraph styling. The size, this is important, and we're going to wrap this one up. This is the thumbnail, medium, large, and full size. So back here in the settings, this is where you can adjust the default settings for the thumbnail, the medium, and the large size. If you want it to crop a rectangle into a square or whatever image, select this choice. And if you want it to automatically embed all the plain text URLs, select this choice. If you want to set the maximum embed size, put the dimensions for width and height here. Save changes, and you're all done.